Man, so let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're gonna be bringing you some horrible news from the hip hop community, man. Now, rapper Jaydayoungan has been rumored to be shot, you know what I mean, in a shooting situation that took place in Bogalusa, Louisiana, which happens to be the rapper's hometown. Oddly enough, Boosie said a long time ago, rappers always get the most hate and always get killed in their hometown, and it seems to prove to be true. You know what I mean? Because it's with horrible, man, under horrible circumstances that I got to report that Jaydayoungan has been confirmed dead. You know what I mean? Now, there's a news story that talks about the whole ordeal, and there's another video I just dropped that talked about the shootings that have happened and taken place since Jaydayoungan was put in the hospital or was in the hospital because of his injuries. But, you know, sad to say he succumbed to his injuries and, you know, he's no longer with us, man. So rest in peace, Jaydayoungan. Now, before we get started with everything and, you know, I break down the details of this story, make sure that you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, I know I'm not the only person who's tired of hearing of rappers, especially superstar rappers who are signed, got deals, and the whole nine, getting shot and killed, man. I mean, it's becoming ridiculous at this point, you know what I mean? But today, we're here reporting about Jaydayoungan being shot and killed. Now, Jaydayoungan, whose real name is Javarius Scott, was shot and killed earlier today in a shootout that seemed like it was the beginning of a whole domino effect of other shootings to follow. There was reportedly a shooting that took place at the hospital while he was fighting for his life, and another shooting that took place 10 minutes after Jaydayoungan and his father were originally shot. Now, I'm going to be referencing a news story from the local news there.
Dave can get you up to $500 instantly.
In Baton Rouge by way of MSNBC. And it's going to be big headlines because now people are starting to understand a rapper was involved. And you know that gets a lot of headlines and a lot of people talking. Now let's get to the news story confirming the death of rapper Jaydayoungan. Now in the headline of the story, it says this. It says, Bogalusa double shooting left one person dead, another killed, identified as rapper Jaydayoungan. Now, obviously, they probably mean one person injured, right? Now, it continues by saying Bogalusa, Louisiana. A double shooting in Bogalusa left one person injured and another dead Wednesday evening, according to Bogalusa Police Department. So the person who ended up being dead in this situation, as always, is the rapper, man. It seems like the rapper in any crew or any group of people seems like the person who always gets the bad end of things, man. Now, I know that, you know, Jaydayoungan, he's no longer with us, and I'm not trying to throw any shade or anything at him, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not trying to disrespect him in any way, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Jaydayoungan, right? I'm pretty sure his family's going through it, right? But you can't deny the facts that are in front of your face. Like, even with Draco the Ruler, right? The rapper was the one who got stabbed, you know? Like, it just seems like in every crew, like, at what point are they going to start protecting the rapper in these situations? Now, I don't know who it was or why they got into it. It might have been somebody he was already into it for a long time. But obviously, man, you know, this has ended up bad for Jaydayoungan, you know, and his family and their side of things. Because his dad allegedly got shot too, right? Now, it also says this. It says, the deceased victim identified as rapper Javarius Scott, a.k.a. Jaydayoungan. The other victim was a close family member, Kenyatta Scott Sr. He was transported to another facility, and we have been told he is in stable condition. So the father is actually in stable condition in this situation. I'm assuming that's Jaydayoungan's father because they share the same last name, and he has a senior in front of that, so maybe he has a son who shares the same first name as him as well. Not Jaydayoungan, but crazy situation to have two members of your family shot on the same day at the same time in the same situation, man. You can only imagine what in the world was going down and what they were going through. Now, the story continues by saying this. Around 5:50 p.m., police received a call of a shooting in the 600 block of Superior Avenue. Now, that's the original shooting where they say it was Jaydayoungan and his father getting shot. You know what I mean? Everything after that is either retaliation or somebody trying to get some kind of get back. Now, it continues by saying, when officers arrived, they located a male critically injured and was treated on scene by EMS and then transported to a local hospital. So they showed up and he was already critically injured, you know? And then they transported him by EMS to the hospital where allegedly another shooting took place outside of the hospital. But we'll get to that in a minute. Now, another victim was taken to a local hospital by private convenience. So meaning they drove themselves to the hospital, like his own car. So he was shot. His dad was shot and drove himself to the hospital. Maybe he drove himself to a hospital to be with his son, or he drove himself to the hospital, obviously, to get treated for his gunshot wounds, man. Now, it goes on to say, hours later, around 7 p.m., officers responded to another shooting in the 800 block of Marshall Richardson Road. So this is a follow-up shooting that they believe is connected to Jaydayoungan's shooting. They're saying these two shootings are connected in some way, you know what I mean? Now, no injuries were reported in this shooting. So in that shooting, it seemed like whoever was the intended target was able to get away and nobody was hurt. Now, police believe that it may have been connected with the previous shooting. So they think that these two shootings are connected, but they don't know for a fact right now. Now, they also say that no other information is available at this time. And they like for people to, call in if you know any information and whatnot, right? Which I doubt will happen. But what's crazy is the fact that Jaydayoungan, being a rapper in the crew, probably the youngest one out there or whatnot, because last time I checked his age, he was relatively young. Even though he's had his times in the judicial system, he's been in court a lot, and that was a big thing of what skirted his rap career, if you ask me, man. But regardless of all that, man, it seems like, things have come to an end in a tragic way for Jaydayoungan, man, and everybody he's cool with. Now, I know his sister was on social media allegedly talking about the situation, but since this has been confirmed, I have yet to see anybody out there speaking on this because I'm pretty sure they're going through a great ordeal right now. When you have your father shot and then your brother, you know what I'm saying? Or either, somebody else who's close in the family, a close relative, shot, and now we're going through that situation right now and have to find a way to resolve after this, especially figuring out the fact that, Jaydayoungan lost his life. This is a tragic situation. And this goes to that point where Boosie said this a long time ago during a Vlad interview, that rappers die in their hometown. I suggest every rapper, man, just leave your hometown. Like, if you've made it, you got a buzz, just leave. Like, that's the best thing to do. And I know Jaydayoungan was living in Houston for a while, but he caught some legal trouble and some situations there. I'm not sure if any of that is connected to this, but regardless of the situation, it seems like a tragedy on the outside.